Hey guys, me Sam Stein, managing editor at the Bulwark. We are joined today for her inaugural Bulwark YouTube. Come on, a little more excited.
No, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I feel
Okay.
like you had to give a little bit more excitement in that intro.
We're joined
Take two.
today.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you
Lauren
go.
Egan is joining us. She's coming on board. She's got a new newsletter. More on that later. Lauren, thanks so much. Happy to have you. And
Thank you for having me.
we're joined by Tim.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Lauren. Let's do this.
How's it
Let's do this.
going?
What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about DOGE. We're going to talk about Elon. We're going to talk about Elon's email that went out over the weekend that everyone might be forced to resign if they didn't tell what 5 things they've done in the past week to to the DOGE team. It's kind of blown up in Elon's face a little bit. The reason we're talking about it is that Trump was asked about it at a press conference today with Emmanuel Macron, and here's what he said.
Do you think that DOGE could benefit from more streamlined communications? There was that email telling employees to give 5 things that they've done last week. Agency heads then told people to ignore it, but
You're
Elon
talking
Musk...
about the last email that was sent, where he wanted to know what you did this week. You know why he wanted that, by the way? I thought it was great, because we have people that don't show up to work and nobody even knows if they work for the government. So by asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working? And then if you don't answer, like you're sort of semi-fired or you're fired, because a lot of people are not answering because they don't even exist. They're trying to find, that's how badly various parts of our government were run by, and especially by this last group. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out who's working for the government. Are we paying other people that aren't working? And, where's all that? Where's the money going?
All right, so there it is. Trump's like, it seems like a good idea. It's not so bad. But in reality, everyone basically in the government has told Elon to pound sand, right? Like all different agencies, HHS, they initially said you should respond, then they said don't. USDA said don't respond, and also don't worry, there's no penalty for not responding. DOD said no. Tulsi Gabbard said no. Kash Patel said no. All right, so Tim, is this like an actual friction point between Elon and the rest of the cabinet, or is there we reading too much into it?
I don't think so, because Donald Trump also, in addition to that video you just showed, bleated this yesterday, all caps. Elon is doing a great job, but I'd like to see him get more aggressive. Remember, we have a country to save, blah, blah, blah. But
that's the bleat that started the email. He bleated that, and then Elon emailed.
Yeah, right.
So Elon's pumping it up.
He's excited about this, though.
Okay.
And all of these guys will do whatever Trump wants. Trump doesn't actually care about the response. I liked the meme going around with the guy that sent the Office Space response. It says, well, I generally came in 15 minutes late. I used the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. So, there weren't serious responses being sent here. And
I was wondering, what the most outrageous response they get is going to be.
I will tell you, though, we were at the Principal's First Summit over the weekend. I'm sure people see, maybe you can go to the other videos on the feed if you haven't seen. I did an event with Jared Polis and Sarah Longwell, and the January 6th cops were there. Anyway, afterwards I was talking with, that email went out while I was on stage, and afterwards I was talking with a couple of the attendees who are federal government workers who did it, who literally sent their reply in because they were nervous.
Yeah,
And
I was talking to people over the weekend who were like, I guess I'm just going to start writing about what I did last week. I don't know what else to do. But I feel like it's almost like revenge of the middle managers right now. Middle managers are just kind of like, we're not doing this. And it's kind of like the first crack, I feel like we're seeing that anyone who has worked in the federal government just knows how big of a bureaucracy is and how these middle managers are going to try and protect their teams to the extent they can. And I feel like they're kind of morale sucks. No. We're not doing this.
Lauren's pitch is this being the revenge of the middle managers is the first thing that's made me side with Elon this whole time. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know. Nobody likes a middle manager.
No one
we
loves
have
the
too
middle
many middle
manager.
managers.
But in this case, the middle manager is literally the cabinet official. It's like Kash Patel being
sure,
or Kash is in the cabinet. But it's, Kash is you know what? Actually, I don't really think that Elon should determine if my team resigns because they didn't respond to Elon's email.
Yeah, it's the first sign that he's not going to be universally successful in literally everything he's doing.
Right. That's what's interesting to me is that he has no actual authority to do this, right? He can't force people from the government. And then, but more than that, he's inserting himself into other people's business. And it's totally arbitrary. And obviously it was totally ill-conceived, right? Like think about actually if it actually works, right? Like you get 2.3 million emails and then what do you do with it?
Yeah, and is there like a scoring system for like
Yeah, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in the response?
We're going to use AI.
What is the right like buzzword? Yeah.
Grok is going to determine who gave the worst answers, and then we're going to fire 5%. No, I mean everything that he's done has been ill-conceived. So like here is like on the one hand, this is just total like he's way out over his skis. They don't know what they're doing. It's a shit show. They're going to get overturned in court. They've already been overturned in court. That said, like one part of their motivation here is I do think that they want to make people's lives miserable and they want people to self-resign. This is like they want people to choose to leave the federal government because they don't want to deal with this shit, so they can either replace them with loyalists or not replace them. And that is like a part of their strategy. And so my guess is that like while Elon was sort of titillated by like fucking bossing people around and making them do busy work for him, and that was really the whole thing. Like he likes sending out dick emails because he likes the attention. I do think there are probably some people around him, the Russ Votes of the world, that are kind of like, the more he annoys these people being the entire federal government workforce, the better for our ends. So it's like partially useful.
But that's the thing that got me, I guess, was that it was just so unimaginative. Like he's done the same exact thing at prior workplaces, right? Like
it just feels so like corporate, like
he's taking his playbook and he's adopting it to the government. I want him to like come up with innovative ways to make people miserable. There's got to be other ways to do it.
You're an agent of chaos, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if he's going to do this on a broader scale, try something new.
It feels kind of like a Sam Stein email to staff, really, actually.
I was going to say, yeah, Sam, if I get that kind of email on the weekend, I'm out.
I've never sent a top 5 email. The other thing, though, is I guess, and goes back to Trump, is like, do we really think he actually doesn't find it a little annoying, right? Like, you think he's totally cool with this, Tim? I sense that he. How can you not find some of this annoying? Elon's around all the time. He's constantly doing stupid shit. He's getting overturned in court constantly. He's annoying all the people you've put around you. I find that would be grating. I find that I wouldn't have fun with that.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard for me to predict. Like,
I'm not asking you to predict. I'm just saying, would you want to hang out with someone like that?
No, of course not. Oh, I'd rather rip my toenails off than spend 5 minutes with Elon. Like, I have no interest in hanging out with him. But Trump, you would have been sick with him already. And like Trump surrounds himself again. Like, say what you want about Trump's New York life. Like he was, he wishes he got more respect. There was a Rodney Dangerfield element of it, but like he hung out with like celebrities and rappers and like cool people and smart people when he was a businessman at The Apprentice. Right. And now he's like hanging out with cougars and Mar-a-Lago and like Seb Gorka, and like you would have thought he'd be sick of it already. So maybe he won't get sick of Elon. I don't know. I do think that he likes the fact that Elon is super rich and famous, and he feels like that he gets benefit from that. And I feel like as long as he feels like he's getting benefit from it, then Elon will still be around. But Elon's definitely going to create tensions within the staff underneath. But that, like, no matter who's in there, these people are going to be like monkeys throwing shit at each other.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It's just Elon's so wealthy that you can't afford to not have him around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is surprising that he's wanted him around this long. Like when he first took office, I feel like the conventional wisdom was Trump's going to get bored. He always gets bored. He's going to get jealous of the spotlight, and it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. He's got something for Elon. I don't know.
He does.
Anytime soon.
Lauren, I do wonder, you were covering the Biden White House, and this is just so different. Like, you have to just be like, is this even the same world? I mean, the Biden White House was so quiet and stuffy. And it's like, I wonder if Steve Ricchetti is mad at Anita Dunn. Like, I mean, it's got to be kind of astounding.
Obviously, we've all talked about when Biden was in office, how it was so boring compared to Trump. And like, that is just true. Like, what was the most exciting thing that happened during the Biden years, Sam? I can't even remember. What's the most exciting story we wrote together? When he dropped out of the race. Like, that was it.
Oh, obviously that, yeah. Maybe it was near
I'm talking about the White House, though. Like, the management of the White House. Like,
Yeah,
Ron Klain and Joe Manchin once got into a tiff.
Yeah, and like Ron, right? There was some people that like to be like a little spicy on Twitter, but like I don't. That's not even like the right word to use compared to like what the Trump team does.
That's like stale
Yeah,
mayonnaise compared to what's going on right now. Come on, that's not
totally,
even.
totally.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying, what qualified as spicy then is just like,
no, it's unfathomable to me
nothing
that you would
now.
have in the Biden years. Like, I guess the comparison would be if like I can't even do it. Like, who would be the Elon of the Biden years? Like Alex Soros was given the chance to like tell all the cabinet officials, like, actually, if your people don't respond to me, they're going to resign.
Hey, maybe this is part of the problem. Somebody, I forget it was Kinzinger. I was on the pod last week, and we were making a joke about how I was going to start doing conspiracy theories so I could become the Joe Rogan of the left. And they're like, well, who would be your Elon smoking weed with you in the studio? And I'm like, I don't know, Reed Hoffman.
And it's like, who would be the alternative
Smoking
to
blunts.
like? Who would be the Democratic version of Cash Patel and Dan Bongino?
These people
There
don't
just
exist.
like isn't one. Yeah, they don't
Aaron
exist.
Rupar? What are we talking about here?
I was doing this when the Hegseth got appointed Secretary of Defense. I kept trying to come up with a tweet about who he would pick, and it was like offensive to all the people. Like I put Joe Scarborough in there. I was like, that's kind of mean to Joe. I was like, I can't do Joe.
That is very mean
Close.
to Joe. Yeah.
This popped up this morning. It's from Housing and Urban Development. Apparently, someone hacked into their systems apparently and posted video,
Don't show it.
AI generated video. I think it's AI generated.
Don't show it.
I know where you're going. Mm-mm.
This was in their cafeteria. It's Elon. It's Donald Trump kissing Elon's feet. Long live the real king. I don't know. Just wanted to give
In
that
the
a little shout out.
cafeteria.
In the
Ugh,
cafeteria is the worst part.
it's so cruel.
It's not great.
I don't know. It's a no for me. I don't like it.
What do you mean it's a
Well,
no?
I mean, I don't like the image. I don't like.
You're the most voyeuristic on the staff. What the fuck?
Yeah, but not in this situation. I'm not voyeuristic towards Elon and Trump. I don't want to see. Like the one picture of Elon shirtless is still seared into my brain. I can't get it out.
one with
Sometimes it
him on
just
the
like
boat?
appears. Yeah, he looks awful. It's just like he has the worst body I've ever seen. The proportions. But I also just don't like. There is this like resistance thing that I don't like.
Proportions.
His proportions are terrible. The resistance thing I don't
So
like
top heavy.
is this like, oh, we're gonna try to make Trump jealous by talking about how Elon
that
is
is
the
the
real
thing.
president. I hate this gimmick.
It's too
'cause number one,
transparent.
it's too transparent, and number two, be careful what you wish for. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Be careful what you wish for.
I don't want King Elon. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell knows, right? Like, I
I
don't.
think what they want is just Trump to get rid of the guy. But I mean, I get it. I think it's so obviously transparent and ham-handed that no one's going to buy it. Even Trump's like, I know what you're trying to do. Like,
Yeah, it's just like too hokey at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll leave it there, folks. If so, we're recording this on Monday in the afternoon. The deadline to respond to this email, which apparently no one's responding to, or only like one. The Department of Transportation, I think you're required to respond. In Ed Martin's office, you're required to respond. But it's so random. But apparently, you're not. You don't need to respond anymore if you're like 90% of the rest of the government. Also, OPM has said you will not lose your jobs if you fail to respond, despite Elon's tweet. But listen, if you're out there and you get any guidance, if you see anything after the midnight deadline, hit us up. We have a tip line, thebulwark.com/tips. You know how to reach us. We'll check those out. Lauren, how did it feel?
It was a
First YouTube?
pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Not so bad, right?
We're delighted to have you.
All right.
Thanks,
Plenty more to
guys.
come. All right. Take care, guys.
Hey, YouTube fam, if you want to support The Bulwark, the best way to do it is by becoming a YouTube Bulwark Plus member. The Bulwark is truly independent. We have no corporate overlords. We're not settling any dumb lawsuits with Trump. By joining, you help support our work, and you can get a bunch of perks right here on this platform. Ad-free content, bonus videos, live streams, and some emojis of me, which I guess some people want. So come join, come hang out, become a Bulwark YouTube Plus member, and I'll be seeing you in the comments. So behave.